Hey guys, it's your girl Tay and welcome back to my channel. Now today we have a highly requested video for a beginner friendly soft glam beat. And please excuse my babies in the bed because they are playing, they ain't sleep, which they should be getting ready to take their nap by now, but anywho, we ain't gonna get into that. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're already starting off with freshly washed face and exfoliated skin. So now we're just gonna get into priming, and to each his own. Everybody's skincare routine is different, but please make sure you going into your primer with a wash face, and please apply moisturizer beforehand. It makes totally different instead of just trying to use your primer as a moisturizer. That's weird. Don't do that. Starting out, I'm gonna be using the Wet n Wild matte finish face primer. So this is what I like to use. Sometimes I do mixed primers, but today I'm not gonna do all that right now. But just going in, you're gonna get that all in the important areas. I mostly like to prime the T-zone area and then work this into the skin, because girl, I have combination skin, so it's like it's best for me to work the T-zone. And let me move my little hair out the way. But it's best for me to work the T-zone because it's, I don't know, it's just better in terms when you have combination skin. And wintertime, I tend to be more oily here. And then overall summer, I'm oily everywhere. So it's just weird. And then sometimes I go through really bad dry spells around this way. So it's just really a struggle sometimes to figure out what the heck you gotta do. But once you get it, you got it. That's all I can say. So you just massage that in like you do anything else, and get that all around up in there. Like really get it in there. Don't leave it clumped in one area. Like, baby, that's gonna look weird because you're gonna have patches. So we want to get this evenly distributed, child. But yo, so once you do that, once you get it all worked in, then we're gonna move to the next step. So once it's done, you should pretty much look like that. You just let that sit for a little minute. I did already brush my brows off camera, but since I just rubbed all that on my face, I like to go back in and brush my brows and yeah, get them back in shape. So now I'm about to go into concealer, and I use two different ones, y'all. SHEGLAM contour stick. Oh, let me get you right. SHEGLAM contour stick, but this one is about faded, so I use this in like the medium tone one. And then I go in with this, the LA Colors concealer in the shade Cashew, and I use this in medium to light. So this is what we're about to get into, concealing the under eye and concealing the brows. Just taking the darker side, I'm going above my eyes and gonna go into that. And then I'm gonna take one of my brushes in a minute and blend this out. That's looking like that. Looking a little like Bozo the Clown a little bit, but it's gonna get fixed. Don't worry. So that's that. And now the brush I typically tend to use for this, don't judge me, y'all, because I got 100 million different brushes. So I have this Bare Essentials Max Coverage Concealer Brush. I have brushes from everywhere, y'all. This is a mixture of years of accumulating from grandma and other people, so don't judge. Basically gonna take my matte finishing spray. I'm gonna spray the brush, get that joint all good, shake it, and then I'm gonna go into blending, because yes ma'am, you gotta blend this stuff out. You can't leave it on your face looking crazy like that. And I want y'all to see this. And it's okay, flare it to the little back of the eye a little bit. You just don't want No harsh lines or no buildup of product on your eye, in your creases or anything like that anywhere, because girl, when you go to do your shadow, you gonna look exactly like that, a damn shadow. Rake it down and pat, because I'm going in like a pulling patting motion. So pat that out. Like, don't be afraid. Move the product. You control the product. The product does not control you. And I did kind of get a little bit down there on the other eye. So another thing is, whatever you do to one eye, do to the other. But just make sure you got this stuff blended, child. That's the moral of the story. We're gonna get into the next step real soon. So I know I'm running up a little bit, but that's gonna serve a purpose later. You're gonna see why. And just keep blending until you feel like it's to your desired look. My little baby trying to say hello. They want attention, but her mama is doing makeup. I cannot right now. All right, so that's that. And this is basically, I know some of y'all probably be like, why did I do this? This basically serves as a eyeshadow base as well. So after I did that, this is just another necessary step. You're gonna set this with powder. What I'm using, as you see, I done hit pan on this joint. I'm using the LA Colors Mineral Pressed Powder, and it's in the shade of Coffee. And I've been using this for a while. And then I'm also gonna take my Bare Essentials Seamless Blending Brush, and you just go in and you pat. Baby, don't do nothing, just pat, because you don't want the product to move really. You just want it to stay, because like I said, this is your eyeshadow base. So you want it to stay. Wherever you got that concealer, pat some powder onto it. That's all you gotta do. That's all you got to do. And now, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows, cause I look crazy and I don't like I said, I don't like looking crazy. And then I'm gonna go back in, conceal the top part. And then I'm gonna do the under eye, cause it's just making sense to me that way. So, we're gonna do it like that. And now sometimes these brushes do be leaving hairs on me, so if you feel something that's tickling your eye a little bit, girl, get it off. Cause later down the line, it can get in your makeup and it'll be stuck there and you look like somebody painted the wall bad. Don't do yourself like that. Okay, moving into brows. Get it. Like I said, baby's trying to say hello and shit. Yeah, doing brows, you just want to take this, make a line at the bottom, if you can see that. Then you're going to line the top, then you're going to blend. And baby, makeup is all about the blending. I don't care what products you use, what brushes you use. It's literally all about the blending. So, if you could blend, you could do makeup. I'ma just be honest. Cause your products don't even matter. Nothing matters. It's all about technique, literally. And yeah, you just shape those hairs where you want them, pretty much. And your brows are supposed to be sisters, never twins, but sisters. So keep that in mind as well, because both sides of our bodies are not even twins. You gotta keep that in mind too. So don't be out here sweating it, talking about your brows are not exactly the same. Baby, they're not supposed to be. And yeah, just fork all that product through your brow. So that's how we look as thus far. Doing makeup also is all about perception. So whatever you perceive to be correct for you, do it. You don't have to follow every tutorial step by step because one, everybody has a different face shape. Everybody is different in an entirety. So embrace you, baby. And I do kind of overline my brows only because it's like I don't know. This one is a little shorter than this one, so I have to overline it. But that's why I do that. That's why you see me over here working that magic in this type of way. But let me get back into it. So I know I'm looking a little crazy, but this is gonna get fixed. What I tend to do, I will try to get my brows as close to each other as possible. And then I go back in and I correct it. Cause why not? That's just literally a guideline to make sure everything will be popping. This looks crazy. I done gave myself a whole unibrow situation. But that's about to be done away with real quick. Real quick. Okay, going back in with that same concealer stick that I had on the dark side. The dark side. Get down. We're gonna fix this. So do one little swoop action, swipe action. See that? And it looks freaking good. And now you go in with one of your spoolies, whichever, from the brow pencil, whichever. And you wanna brush through that again. With that being said, that's brows. It's giving. And girl, I'm gonna be honest. The toughest part to makeup outside of contouring or anything of that nature will be the freaking brows, bro. Like, it took me so long to figure out what I had to really do in terms of my brows because they're so weird with each other. It took me a while to even just get the hang of them because girl, some days, and even still now, some days my brows will be too thick, other days they won't be thick enough. And it's just, brows is a thing that you really can't say you got A1 all the time, like honestly. Now, like I said, taking that dark side, going above the brow, because me personally, I don't like the halo look for the brows. I used to. That was middle school days, child. I don't do that no more. Some people still do, but me personally, that's not for me no more. And you just concealing all those extra hairs that wasn't concealed at first. And then I'm gonna blend it out with another brush. Not this brush, it's gonna be a different one. So now I just take like this angled brush right here. And I'll get to blending that out into the skin. This little brush here, it just came out of a little brush set from Shein, so it was like $6 set, and it came with a bunch of brushes. So girl, if you lacking on brushes, don't feel bad about going to, like, I don't know where you may stay, but if you in the South, like a Rainbow, City Trends, Shein, Alibaba, don't hesitate on getting you a brush set from these places. Like, I'm telling you, you do not really always need the high-end stuff. Like, it's not necessary sometimes, especially when you find good quality ones and they still work the same as the others. Like, girl, what's the point? Why would I go spend $30 on a brush set and I don't have to? You know, that's just my logic. Even though it would be freaking nice, but if it ain't necessary right now, it ain't necessary right now. Now, am I saying I won't get to that level? No, of course not. I do want to be on that level, but as of right now, girl, we don't need that. Cause don't fix what ain't broken. Okay, so now I'm going back in, like I said, cause I do 2 different concealer steps. Going back into the same medium to light concealer stick, I'm gonna conceal the under eye. And I conceal my under eye different every time, so it depends on what I'm feeling, to be completely honest. And I know I ran that like a little bit down towards the nose, but you're gonna see why, because this is basically gonna frame the face and frame where I'm gonna put all my stuff. Because basically we're going into our outlining for foundation and contour low-key. So that's why I do that. And then I put a little there because we're gonna conceal up basically. So you get that lifted look. Because foundation is literally just that, a foundation. The concealer and everything else is really what makes the skin. And I don't know if I want to do my forehead today, so we're gonna leave it because I don't want to get on here and do something and then I don't like it and then I gotta erase it, because that'll be erasing the whole face at this point. So once again, you're gonna take your matte finishing spray, or whichever finishing spray you want to use, because I'm just doing matte because 1, this is a soft glam look, and 2, this is the one I like the most. Even when I do my other looks, I'm using this one because it works. Hey, don't fix what ain't broke. And you could take, at this point, you could take like a sponge, a beauty blender, whatever works best for you, and we're gonna get to blending this out. So take it, wet it, give it a little blow, a little shake, and then get to blending. I know right now this looks a little crazy, but it's all gonna work out because, yeah, that's why I said we're gonna use 2 different concealers. So I don't know if you could tell, but I could tell it kind of gave you the little lifted look a little, and then it kind of shortened how the eye looks a little. I do see that, and that's what I always see when I do this, because it just, I guess, brightens the under eye, but it also just makes it look lifted. That's what you go for, a lifted look. And trust, I know this looks crazy, but it's not gonna look like this after I'm done, because you just want to lighten the areas that need to be lightened, because when you contour, bronze, and everything else, you're gonna put the color back in your face, and it all works. It just always all works. That's all I can say. It all works. And make sure to work out that under eye too, because you don't want creasing when you go in to do your other stuff, what you have to do, because the creasing will ruin a good look before anything else, because you got product building up making you look quote unquote cakey. Because when you set your face, girl, that will not do you justice having that in there like that. because everything you do with cream or liquid, you do have to set with a powder. And honestly, girl, I'm not the one who do my eyeshadow before I conceal my face. I've never been that way, because I like for my face to look a certain way before I dictate, you know, which eyeshadow look I'm gonna do. That's just a personal preference. I know a lot of y'all probably see other people go ahead and do their eyeshadow after they do their concealer, but in their brows. But me personally, the face determines the eyeshadow look. I'm not even gonna lie. So that's that. I'm going in with cashew now. So, and I tend to rake the excess off because it's this type of brush, and at times it just, I don't know, it throws it for me sometimes. And this one, I'm just going back in the same places that I put the other. And I'm gonna go in with the brush instead of the sponge this time. And yes, I know this seems complicated, but like I said, girl, it's all about you and your technique. Because me and mine, I know we complicated. So, moving into that, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, because this one is typically the one that sets the tone of the face for me. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and do my nose. So, yeah. And we're gonna let this one dry down. So while that's doing that, we just pretty much wait. Okay, coming back in, because I already blended the concealer back in using this brush. I blended it off camera because I was like, let me get this right. So just to fill y'all back in, I took the contour stick again, because I do this before I go in with foundation, y'all. Don't judge me. So I took the contour stick again on the brown part. I took that and I lined the perimeter of my face, and that's what I'm finna use to start blending out to get my face ready for the color. That's what I'm about to do now. So I'm gonna let y'all witness this greatness. And I'm gonna take my foundation brush and this brush for the nose area. This is my concealer brush. I'm gonna take my foundation brush and I'm finna get all the sides and things of that nature. So once again, taking your setting spray, finishing spray, whichever one you want to use. They all the same to me, baby. But whichever one, spray your brush. Oh, hold on. Get that little loose piece off. Spray your brush. And I have been letting this dry down a little, but it ain't that dry. And then just go in and start adding that color back into your face. And I am literally transforming on camera. Wow. I can honestly say, like, the contour stick I have, it low-key doubles as a foundation stick for me too, though. I can't even lie. Add a little color back to the chin area. Please, please, please. You don't want your chin looking like Casper the Ghost. That's just supposed to be a little lightened area, if that makes sense. And girl, this part is literally gonna make you feel like your arm about to fall off, because you gotta work that shit. Literally. The sides of the nose, because as you see, you just want really like the perimeter area to be light. You don't want everything else extra crazy, because that's not gonna be right. And that's how we looking so far. And if you need another spray, feel free to, like, by all means, give yourself another spray, because this stuff will dry on you, for real. And it gets hard to maneuver. Don't be afraid to rake some of this to your neck either. And we're gonna go back in with another little tap of concealer. It's not gonna be as heavy, but it's gonna be a little tap, because we want to re-lighten that area, because we still light, as you can see, but we just want it a tad bit lighter. And then we're gonna set that with powder, and we're gonna set the perimeters with powder as well. Make sure you don't have any patches where your product is just sitting either. You don't want that. It's gonna make you look like somebody prepared you to be a corpse bride, and I promise you, you don't want that at all. Now, going back under the brows, with this little situation here, because I did, like I said, I showed y'all how I did my lighter concealers. With the nose, I did go back in with the tan stick, and you just want to go about not really overbearing the light part, but rake this out so you don't have those harsh lines, because that's your guideline right there, especially since you're going to have a whole nother darker concealer on top. This is just to prep for that, if you know what I mean. That way you don't run over where you need to run over. And with this, you just rake it around, drag it down, and you should kind of look like that. But now we're looking like this, so that's that. And now we're gonna take our translucent, that's gonna be for later, and we're gonna take this skin colored powder, or better yet, I don't want to use that one, I want to use this one, this skin colored powder, and we're finna go over everywhere we just put that darker concealer. We're gonna come back, because I'm finna go ahead and do my lightening back up. All right, lighten there, lighten there, lighten there. Do I want to? Yeah, I'm gonna do the forehead. And you see the forehead is just very small. I'm gonna go back in right there. Now, as you see, I didn't take this one anymore to do that, because that one's still peeking through under everything. I'm just going back in with the little darker one, because it's just to re-enhance this, that's all. And the darker one is going on the forehead, because I didn't put this one on the forehead because it was going to be too light, but I put the dark one after I done did all the color, just to basically put a highlight there. And I'm going to take my Bare Essentials, my blending brush at this point. I'm not going to use the concealer brush, I'm not using the foundation brush, and I'm not using the angle brush. I'm not using either one of these, not these. I'm using a blending brush, something like this. It's flat, it's wide. Hey, do this one. It literally says blending. So I'm gonna spray it. You already know the routine by now. Spray it, give it a little shake, little blow, and just blending that out. And if you have to go back into your other brushes, that's fine too. It's just all about personal preference. But I know when I get here for this particular point, I don't go back into that. I'm onto something totally different now. but I will use them if need be, like now, because it has that product and it has that tackiness for me using it to go ahead and make that do what it do, or what it needs to do rather. And you just use the concealer brush to get that harsh line out, because you really just want to be bright. You don't want to be too overly defined in the wrong places, if you know what I mean. So sometimes I have to go into the concealer brush, but like this side, I don't have to. One swipe, it did exactly what it needed to do. See? And then you are gonna set this with our translucent powder that's coming up in a minute. So that's what that's for. And you see how the forehead is? Very simple, very subtle. It ain't doing too much. It just give you a little glow, because that's all we want, just a little glow. And now for the nose, I just rake down because I really don't have to do too much. And around the lip area, I'm just tapping and dragging a little, just a little. Tap and drag, and that's how we look at it. And same with the chin. And you see I only put a little bit compared to the other time, because this is just to re-highlight, literally. Because like I said, this was still peeking through. You just re-highlighting at this point. Because the way I do things, you have to. You will be back and forth between stages in your stuff, the way I do things. And like I said, tap that out, move that product so you don't have creasing. All right, and we looking like that. Now, going into my LA Colors Ultimate Concealer in the shade Espresso. This is gonna be the contour now. This is really what is the trickiest part of everything for me. Contouring is my biggest challenge, like for real, for real. That is, yeah, nah. But what we're gonna do, just a beginner guideline for contouring. I have high cheekbones, so I tend to use this already as my guideline because it's perfect. But you just have to look for where your indentions are, and then hair wise, that's pretty much personal preference. Hair wise, that's personal preference on how you want your face to look. But for the cheeks, look for your guideline. You can even do a little smile to figure out where your guideline is. Moving right along. As I said, rake the excess off because sometimes it do a little too much. And another trick, because I do this too, to just make sure I'm staying within that guideline, you could do a little pucker face and right on up in there. All right, and that's how we looking. And then I typically go over it again. There we go. And as I said, what you do to one side, you do to the other. Moving back into our concealer brush, we gonna go ahead and get this together. So what I do, I know I raked it that way, but I'm gonna rake it back this way. And just pat it down. Make sure you just pat it down to get everything in position so you don't look completely, you know, crazy. That's this side compared to that. That's how we looking. And already you can see the snatchage. Like, girl, yes ma'am. Get down. And like I said, what you do to one side, do it to the other. So go down, go up, go down, and blend it out. It's okay if you move a little too far up sometimes, because like I said, You can always go back in and fix it with the excess product just to make it look even. Cause yeah. So, alright. So with that being said, we got that part of the contour done. But to spot correct, which you are gonna have to do a lot of spot correction, you go in and fix that. And you just don't want to run over your under eye. And you're gonna drag this down. Then go back in with the foundation brush and pat. Don't really drag it, just pat it. You could drag in some parts, but for the most part, you pat. Cut that off. This one at the bottom, you drag down. Get rid of that harsh line. See what I mean? Not too much, but just enough. You go back into seamless blending brush for the faces and stuff. I just run everything over each other. And that's what we got. That's the finished look right there. Contoured, but it's still subtle. So, yeah. And do the same here. So, see that? Start off harsh, but I end it very subtle. Very subtle. Like, very, very subtle. I mean, I probably will use the excess on the brush to just redefine that. But other than that, I'm not finna do a lot. Alrighty, so moving on. Now it's time to conceal the forehead and the jawline. Mask this little chin area here, because girl, we don't want that either. And the temples. Instant snatch. That's what I mean. Instant snatch it. Literally. Alright, going back in with my concealer brush. You just wanna drag it up, because this is just to make the forehead shorter, you know. And this is just how I personally conceal. Like, once again, everybody is different. And then I buff it out with the seamless blending brush, because you don't want any harsh lines like whatsoever, because this is just for low-key bronzing effect and still is contour. And I even made my forehead a little smaller, so yes ma'am. But I'm gonna go back in, so just do a little, because you don't need a lot. And then highlight back where you had it highlighted, just to fix what we just did here. Boom. Now in terms of the nose, since I already low-key contoured the nose with the brown, I'm not going to re-contour my nose. I'm just going to use the low-key excess from the brush, and I'm gonna do it that way, because I don't really, like I said, I put that guideline there, but I don't really harsh contour my nose anyway. But this is just for dimension, and as you see, you can already tell the difference between the darker and the regular brown. This is literally strictly just for dimension, to give my face that more structured look and feel. And see, just a little shadow effect. And I just lightly drag it. See? And I mean, it ain't gonna conceal it all the way, but long as you get it pretty much well taken care of, because nobody wants a full double chin situation. It looks a little better. That's fine by me, because that won't be gone until I completely lose weight. But we working on it, because it's way smaller than what it was. I'm gonna just be real. All right, so after that, like I said, we're gonna set everything. And when it comes down to setting, I typically like to use a bigger brush, so that's what I'm about to do. So going in, I'm using my SHEGLAM translucent powder first to set the under eye and the forehead and all these areas, basically the T-zone. Get down. Basically the T-zone area. And let's get into it. So we're gonna move into that. And you just press it down, just tap it. That's all. Just tap. And like I said, you just sit everywhere. You put that lighter concealer. Sit everywhere. Forehead and all. Because you always have to set your your creams with the powder. It's just for making sure the product doesn't move and also locking it in, because throughout the day you get to doing things and you don't want your your cream running like, ooh, child. Okay, so once you set everything with the powder, it's supposed to look like that. All right, now done with that. Now let's move into, baby, at this point, because y'all just don't know, most of my stuff come from Shein now with the SHEGLAM products, because girl, they just they light. So I'm like, at this point, this should have been a sponsored SHEGLAM video, baby. But nah, just speaking it into existence, but we gonna get there. But now everywhere that we taking the same brush, I'm going into my SHEGLAM Done palette or Dune. This is like a contouring palette, highlighter palette, a 4-in-1 basically, and these are the colors. So going into this shade right here, I'm gonna put that everywhere I put the darker contour in, and just move that about. And this one I do a little drag and tap motion, because you just want to be sure you following that line and also making everything blend together, basically. So you drag it and then tap, drag it and then tap. And then take that to the forehead as well. The forehead and the temple, because we placed that contour there. And what you do to one side, always do to the other. That is the golden rule of makeup, literally. So you want to always look flawless and put together. What you do to one side, always do it to the other. Golden rule. I had to learn that back in the day, because child, I used to do one thing to one side of my face when I was in like middle school, and then I do a whole different thing to the other, and I just used to be looking crazy, girl. You don't want to be out here looking crazy. So what you do to one, please do to the other. It saves you the embarrassment, and it saves it just saves a lot of distress. And it helps you to stay in the moment with your makeup too. And that's how you learn, because you can't be trying stuff. Like, say it's the day you gotta go out and you get to trying stuff on your face. Girl, don't do that. It keeps you from being extra. It keeps a routine. And just checking it out, checking what we got so far. And now we're gonna get into a blush. Cause I know, like I said, no, better yet, no, we're not getting into a blush. Not just yet. I don't know why I'm trying to rush to the blush. But maybe because all my face is almost done. But not just yet. Girl, calm down. Going back into my other SHEGLAM powder. And this is the Baked Glow setting powder in deep brown. I'm going to put this everywhere that I put our other color. So everywhere that we just put color back into the face with, that's where this is going. And girl, I know y'all gonna be like, girl, this is all over the place, low-key. What is going on? But trust me, I know. I'm really like all over the place sometimes. I told y'all that. And right there, we just put a little bit right there. And then this is not the only powder we're going to use either. We're going to go back into that other brown setting powder and then finish this one off with that. And then I'm going to move into blush. Because, like I said, I have combination skin. And the best thing for me to ever do for my face is to use a lot of powders and also use a lot of moisturizers in the areas that I know need to be moisturized, like around here, around the mouth, things of that nature. Because it's just, hey, that's what I've been blessed with, combination skin. And honestly, if you do have combination skin, it literally works in our favor sometimes. Like, I know the girls who have, you know, the oily skin, sometimes it's hard for them to find products. Like, when I go through my oily phase, because I will at times, it's super hard for me to find products that'll work with my skin and not make me look like I'm a grease monkey. So when the winter months and fall months come around, I utilize it, because girl, it will be a freaking freak show sometimes in the summer. So that's why I just don't wear makeup in the summer like that. I'm trying to get back into it, but I really don't. And okay, now going back into this powder, I'm just going back over everywhere I just put that other one. And that's it. That's all. And I'm using the same brush, y'all. So that's another reason things will blend together, because you use the same brush and you don't just constantly switch your brushes. It's unnecessary. Sometimes I'll get to being extra with brushes, but it's literally unneeded. And I'm gonna go over the eye with this powder too, just to finalize all that and get rid of that crease. And that's pretty much it. So we looking like that, all mattified and everything. Yep, that's that. Now, the moment we all been waiting for, literally. Now I'm finna do eyeshadow. And after this part, it's pretty much smooth sailing. So we about to get into that. A little bitty pro tip. After you do all that, set everything, girl. Set everything with your powder. I mean, your finishing spray. Girl, what did I just do? Okay, there we go. So, you want to hold your arm out like so. Don't be all up here, like so. And just spray. Ooh. So, that's going to set in. And then I'm going to move into eyeshadow. because this just gonna bring everything together. On another day, not for video purposes, I would have literally, you know, sprayed my setting spray between every step, but I was like, girl, this video is already long as is. We're not finna do that to the people at all. But just fan that out and you're good to go. And you're gonna look like that. It just pulls everything together. But we are gonna do blush and then eyeshadow. So I don't know, I'm thinking about either this one, because it's giving a little for what I'm thinking, or I might go in my usual. This is literally my usual right here. I don't know yet, but in terms of blush, I might just mix some and then do the eyes, because something is calling me to go ahead and do the blush. That's why I keep saying blush. And it's another thing when I say I go off of vibes, that's what I mean. Like, girl, I go off of whatever is giving in this moment. So going into this one first, I'm gonna use this brush. This just a LA Colors blush brush I got from Dollar General. Going into that, do a little smile and get that on there. And don't be afraid to, like, you know, use a lot of product. Girl, that's what it's there for. Use it. Don't be trying to be skimpy. Cause if you need to be blushed out, blush it out. I don't know what to tell you. Like, blush that stuff out. And also blend it while you blushing it, because you don't want to, like, do this and have a harsh line, because it's just literally blush. You're not trying to have a harsh line in this. I would say that's kind of low-key given by itself, but I'm putting a little bit of that over the nose too, and just build that product up. That's all you want to do, build it. And it does take a minute with these lighter blushes, I can tell you that much. That's why you go over it with a semi-darker one, or at least that's what I do. Some people just leave it as this, but that's not my style. I like to have color on my face, because I don't know, with blush I like to look like I'm blushing. See, voila. All right, so that's how we looking. Now we're gonna move into eye look. About time. I know, right? About time. So I got two options. I got the LA Colors in Rose, and then I got the LA Colors in Nude. With the situation that's going on right now, I'm really thinking about this one. But I may use a brown from this one too, so we finna see. So let me look over these and see what we working with. Okay, so starting off, since the nude has a darker color that I want to start with, I'm gonna go ahead and go into that. So with the nude palette, I'm gonna go into this top shade right here for the crease, and then we're gonna work that in. So using this little brush, this came out of a little $6 palette I got from 5 and Below. I love this brush because it's fluffy and all. I love it. Can't go wrong when I do my eyeshadow with this brush. So I'm finna go into this and work this on top of the crease. And just tap and work it around, because you gotta think we're gonna be layering these products. Just literally tap it and you will get a look like that. And you can build on it if you want to. It's pretty much up to you at this point, and I am gonna build on it. All right, that's what that eye look like, and move on to the next one. But yeah, so it's just pretty much personal preference at this point when it comes to eyeshadow, because I know a lot of folks do a lot of different things, and I'm not one of those girls who do a lot of crazy stuff. Not because I don't want to, but it's just because it doesn't always work for my face. So yeah, and you work that in there, and then we're gonna move on to our next secondary shade. Okay, so that was the base color. That's what I wanted. Now, going into the rose palette, this right here, nope, where I'm at, where am I at, girl? I want to say right here, that's speaking to me, so I'm gonna go in with that one, and I'm gonna just put that in the corner. Well, you know what, I'm gonna go into, change the plans. I'm gonna go into this one right here. So we're going into that one, and I'm gonna just put that in the corner. And so that's how we looking. Just going back into the nude palette, going back where we had the crease color, just go into that and just do the front over, just to redefine what's going on and show the dimension and color. And voila, that's that. That's how we looking. Okay, now going for lid shade, I'm gonna take this color right here, pack that on, and that's that. And continue over to the other side. Voila. So that's how we're looking. Now, just something that I like to do, and I know a lot of other people like to do it too. That crease color, I'm gonna take it back under the bottom lash line and just smoke out that bottom, just to make the eye look more uniform and together. So boom, that's how we looking. So that's the eyes so far. I'm gonna use my liner pencil and smoke out the top, because that's what's calling to me right now. Just to give some somewhat definition. It don't gotta be a lot, just give you something, if you know what I mean. Alright, so that's how that's looking. And then after that, go to the other eye and do it. And as you see, I'm dragging that in the corner of the eye, pretty much making it look like, I would say like a black shadow, but since I don't really be comfortable using black shadow, I just take a liner and give the same effect, and then I'm gonna smudge it out with another brush that I have. In a minute, I'm gonna show you what I mean. But yeah, I just typically go about it this way, because it's way more simpler to me this way. And taking that same black liner, just go against the waterline. And that's how we look. Okay, after that, like I said, I was gonna take like a brush to smoke out that liner. This is said brush. So as you see, the difference already with me smoking it out. All you gotta do is just run up against it. That's all. Just to make it look more uniform and not so just there. And voila. Now taking this defining eyeshadow brush, I'm finna go into my nude palette once again. I'm going into this right here, this highlight, the lighter one, and I'm gonna just brush that under the brow. Now, since these two palettes don't really have anything that I want to go into with and for the inner corner, I'm gonna take, one second, I'm gonna take my Pro Contouring palette again. And now I'm just about to take this brush still and go into this shimmery light shade here and pop that in the inner corner. Like so. And this is also going to be the shade that I use to highlight everything else. So we're about to go into that. All right, that's that. Now moving on along, we're just gonna take our finger in that same shade right there. Take our finger and just tap on the nose, the bridge of the nose, because we don't want this look to be extra shimmery. This is literally just for just a little dimension to separate everything. On the nose, the bridge of the nose. Where else I want to put this? I'm gonna take the finger and do the chin. Just tap in there. But then I'm gonna take my brush and I'm gonna literally just tap it in that same color and just highlight the cheekbones. And that's all I'm doing. Just highlighting the cheekbones. And moving over here, I have one more blush that I want to use from this palette right here. This came from 5 and Below. This was literally like, girl, I want to say $6 or $7 as well with tax, but honestly it was like 5 something just on the price board. But taking this pink blush right here, or better yet, which one? No, maybe not the pink. I'm probably gonna do the peachy colored one, and I'm gonna go into that and just once again pack that on the cheeks. Better yet, I'm gonna go into both of them. Cause I just want a little bit more color. Now that I see how my eyeshadow is, I want a little more color on the face. So just work that in there. And I will have to go back into the highlight, but it's fine. I just mixed them both and working that in there. So with that being said, okay, highlight. Going back in there, just highlighting this area just to put that highlight back. All right, so after that, I'm gonna use this one right here. These are like 2 different purples, I would say. And This one here is from SHEGLAM, as you can see, and it's the color Vineyard. Going into this one first, I'm finna line my lips with this. And going in with this other shade. This was from, like I said, I live in the South, so we have rainbows and everything of that nature around here. This is from just a lip kit I got from Rainbow, but I don't remember the name, and it also doesn't have the name on it. So I'm sorry guys, I can't really tell you, but smack this color dead in the center. And then voila. Now I'm about to move into lashes, and then we're gonna have the completed look, baby. Okay, and just for time purposes of the video, I went ahead and did my lashes and off camera along with my beauty marks. But so far, this is the finished look. Cute, giving very much sultry, soft glam, not doing too much, but doing just enough. And that's exactly what we were going for. That's what you want when you trying to achieve a soft glam look. Now when you want the boom and all that good stuff, that's when you go to the hard full face glam beats, but this is not what that was. And don't be coming for my lashes either, because I know you girls like to tussle, because everybody on the 3D's little small lash wave. But baby, I like B lashes. I love the drama. So it is what it is. But this is the finished look, and that's it. So thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what else I could have did differently, if you feel like I should have did something different. And that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching.